I will start in Spanish or in English? That's the question today. I will start in English and then we'll see where it goes. Now, welcome if you're just joining us here at the craft store. My name is Paula Pascual, and in case you are wondering, yes, I am Spanish. This is why I speak very fast. I'm very excitable and passionate about so many things. Anyway, we have got one of these items that I'm incredibly passionate about because it is an incredible die cutting machine. It is a monthly mega deal, and I am going to tell you that I'm not going to speak about it because there is somebody who I'm very passionate about it and is equally as passionate about this machine as I am, and it is the John next door, John Lockwood, who joined us here from the studio. How are you, John?
I'm very well. Muy bien, gracias.
¿Hablamos en español un rato?
Me hablo poquito español.
Pero lo hablas muy bien.
Mi trabajo en España para 5 años.
Exactamente. Basically, what you just said is that he speaks only a little bit of Spanish, and I said he actually speaks very well. And then, of course, John said that you lived in Spain for 5 years.
I did, yes. Lived
and
and
this is how you started crafting a little bit.
It is how I started crafting, by watching Create and Craft, as everyone does.
Absolutely, like we did. Yeah.
I mean, to be quite honest, my stepfather was very ill.
Yeah.
I was watching Create and Craft. I'd always been arty. I needed something to do in the afternoons while I was helping there. So I ordered a kit from Michelle Marsden, Red Hot Bed.
Yes.
Of all travel and foiled toppers and things. Got completely addicted. And when I moved to Spain, I took with me one little box of art things.
Right.
When I came back, I bought back 3 cubic meters, and 90% of it were craft products. So in 6 years, I can actually quantify my craft hoarding journey over 6 years. And it taught me as well, and one of the things that I learned from doing that was when I was, and it's one of the reasons we're sort of talking about living in Spain, was the postage to get things there was very expensive.
Yes, it was.
It was extremely expensive back then. So every single piece of equipment I had, every die, every stamp had to earn its place.
Absolutely. And
it had to be the best available. Yeah. It had to do multiple jobs. It had to do more than one thing. It wasn't worth it. And I think that's why I was asked to do this machine. Yeah. Because I chose this 3 years ago. Myself, bought it, went to a shop, paid out money. You know, none of the machines that I'm using on air or on my shows or anything have been given to me or sponsored or anything. I physically bought them. Yeah. And this is the answer to me, to my die cutting issues, because I've got a reliable machine that's still working 3 years down the road, but that cuts every die I've ever had, that works on every die. We tried some wooden dies of yours from the very beginning of 15 years ago.
Absolutely.
Last time we did some shows on this. And it will even take dies and designs and products that have been developed since this was being done. I mean, so it's backward and forward compatible, and that's why I love it, and I'm here today with it. I absolutely love the machine as well. And John, one of the things that I remember when you brought it in for the first time, that you kind of, and it was just the fact that anyone can use it very much straight away. Yes. You don't need to kind of have lessons into it. Personally, the first time that I kind of grabbed my Go Power and Emboss, it was literally half an hour before one of my shows, and I didn't need to read the manual. I didn't need to go through it. I love as well that, John, what you mentioned about it will take the deep dish dies or the steel rule dies, like the Sizzix, the spellbinders. So basically, the only limitation you have, which is a very tiny limitation, is as long as it's A4 in width, it will go through. It will go through, full stop. And that's on every die. I mean, I have a little pile of dies here, which I would have. And I will go through, you know, what you get in the machine. But to me, this is what sold it to me. Yeah. Yeah. And this is why. And one of the things I want to say on this is not a Crafts 2 product. Yeah. This is not a John Next Door product. We're not connected with Couture Creations in any way. I'm doing this show because the craft store asked me. Because you are such a big ambassador for it. Well, because they considered me to be an expert on it because I had it. You had it. And I was able to answer it. But by the way, can I sorry to interrupt, because I want to make sure that people are checking out their baskets, because yes, it is a monthly mega deal, and we are so passionate about this machine that we kind of got into it, we carried on, but the reality is that it's incredibly busy, and so busy that you need to put your orders through.
we are approaching limited stock, and we launched it the monthly mega deal yesterday, and it's gonna, you know, I'm going to say it's supposed to last a month. And by the sounds of it as well, John, you did some research as well to see if there was available anywhere in the country, but...
I couldn't. Sam did a Google.
Yep.
And he's very good at as people who've mentioned and messaged me before say, John, where can I find this? And Sam is very good at tracking things down. He couldn't find them anywhere else. I happen to know from talking to the buyers that they had the entire stock that was available to them. There are no more. There are no more on the water. There are no more coming through. So it's not going to be that this is a monthly mega deal and next week suddenly you're going to find you've got another 500 or something in a warehouse somewhere. There are no more coming in. If this goes today, that's it.
That's it.
Until, I believe, the next lot are manufactured.
So, therefore, this is your chance to grab it. I mean, I know many of you have been thinking about it, have seen John using many of our demonstrators, myself included. And, you know, the proof of the pudding in a die-cutting machine is people who, like John said, are unrelated to the company, choose this machine to use, work with. I mean, there is a few of them in the backstage, a few different machines, which one I reach. And this is, I know that it's a little bit putting myself into it, but this is the one I go. Even I want my dice look the best they can on live TV, John. You know that. We want to make it. We are going to choose for the best machine we can. We are. You know,
our jobs are to show the product in the best light.
Absolutely.
And show people the best and easiest way to do something.
Indeed.
And tools are just as important. It's all well and good having, you know, if you like and all you love my dies, it's brilliant having my dies. It's brilliant having them. But you know, and it's why I have 3 of these for workshops, because I want you to get the best out of them. So use what I use. And obviously when I'm showing something on air, I want to show the best way it cuts. And that's why you'll see for the last 3 years, I think it's 3 years now, this is what I've used. I've used this or my Kaleido for every show I have done, full stop.
I have to say, it's one of these automatic machines that has got a button with run, turn on, run, and then reverse. And that's all you need to know. It works so well. And if you want your machine, well, it will come with the AC, B plate, the rubber mat, and the universal metal adapter. We will run through what everything means with our John. Now, A-plate, I always love a machine that comes with a A-plate or a white one, because automatically that means it will take the thicker dies.
It does, yeah. If it's got that and it's got the wide mouth, you know it's going to take the thicker dies. As I said, this will take any dies you've got. So I'll run through the dies and then I'll run through the plates with you.
So that's fabulous.
Everybody, we've all got these. If you've been crafting for more than 3 or 4 years, you've got these. And I know, bless her, Julia Watts, when she moved to the Grand Caliber, got rid of all of her big dies. And she was so regretting it, because I know she now bought one of these. The one she uses on air, she bought again. And that's a choice. Demonstrators have a choice with our money like you do at home. It's not given away, so she paid what you pay. So the fact I can use those. I can also use the spellbinders, and watch me go out of camera shot again just to find it. I bought this. I noticed you had one on the happy hour last night with tags that I nearly bought.
Wow.
One of these, the Spellbinders deep dish dies.
Yes, I remember. Yes, I remember that. You told me, you messaged me afterwards, like, oh, I bought one of those ones.
Yeah, so I bought this one, and I nearly got the other one last night. So this is a Spellbinders deep dish die. This is a die most people won't remember. These are the Sizzix Thinlets.
The Sizzlets.
Or Sizzlets.
Sizzlets, yeah.
They're not as thin as a thin die, but they're not as thick as a big die. The machine will take it. This is one, a blast from the past, Anna Griffin.
Ah, yes, Anna Griffin, yeah.
And again, like a thin die, but slightly thicker.
It's almost like a mixed, not quite a mixed media die, but it is a mixed media.
It's halfway between that and a mixed media die. A standard thin die that we're used to from any company at all will work. We've then got things like these are the handmade by Haley mixed media fabric dies.
We'll cut fabric.
So it will take those, and it will take the wooden dies. It will take the Sizzix originals. So if you had the thing, if you had the machine where you put it in and you pumped it and moved it along, those dies will fit in here. The aqua quilt dies, the original
well,
dies
we tried.
that came with
you know,
things.
I have got a one of the first die cutting machines that I had was called Sleepy Maid, and it had like Sizzix dies, but they were extra thick. And this machine could deal with them.
This machine will deal with them, and the way it does it, first of all, is because it's a really well-built machine. Yeah. It's a really well-built machine. I mean, to be honest, to give a list of what this doesn't do is easy.
I mean,
it's easier than anything
plain,
else.
which I need that,
No,
but you know.
in terms of die cutting, if you've got a 12 by 12 die, of which Sizzix did a few limited run a few years ago, it won't fit. Everything else will. Yeah. And it's the plate combination that's been so clever. Great pressure, great thing, but as you said, you've got a base plate. Yeah. So that will give you the height to start with. But then you have a C plate, which is 3 mil. Yeah. You have a B plate, which is 5 mil. Right. You then also have a 1 mil thick metal plate with it. And you've also got a very thick embossing mat, which again is a 3 mil embossing mat. Okay. So it means basically I can go, if I want to do a normal die, I would go A plate, C plate. Now this C plate is 3 years old. Yeah. And it's still This is the one I use on air. This came out of my case yesterday. This is my C plate, 3 years old. Yeah. C plate. I have my card and my die and my B plate on top. And it's probably easiest if I actually show you. I'm going to take here, and this might be a bit of a struggle, and this is what I'm almost hoping it will be.
Okay, yeah.
Because, so this was from the Crafts 2 Happy Hour last night, so I have no idea of the weight of this card, but it's a really coated, glossy card. Yeah. So I'm going to go card, die and machine. So what I do is I run it through. Yeah. As it's only a small die, I just press run and it accepts it. As it's a small die, I can press reverse. One button, one touch. No stop, no pause, no messing about. It's whisper quiet and it reverses back. And when it reverses, it sits there. Right. Doesn't drop out. Yeah. So I can check now, has that cut? Yes. Wow. I wanted it not to.
You wanted to show that, you know,
because
the metal
what I can
plate.
then do is, this is the fab thing. If that die needed a little bit more pressure, and just to show you, can you see how beautifully that has actually cut and embossed through the machine? I mean, I wouldn't need to look at the edge of that, and all these bits, will.
I mean, I struggle to die cut with my. I have got a Big Blue, which is a Tatterlay's original electrical machine that I don't think is in production anymore. I get on fairly well at home with it. But I know, for instance, that if I have got an intricate die or I have got a durable scorable or something like this, I need to bring my tangerine out, which I don't want to do because it's manual and because it kind of is bringing it out. Having a machine that I know I just can't. I mean, it will give me those results. That's, for me, it sells it.
It is, and it's embossed, so it's beautiful. But if that hadn't have cut, I would simply add the metal shim in and add another mill in.
And you put the metal shim over the top or
under? I can put it over the top. Right. Or I can put it underneath.
Perfect. Yep.
And that's what I tend to do. And when your machine, because they all get tired.
They do.
When your machine gets tired after a couple of years, I end up putting my metal shim under there. And leaving that to increase that pressure, but I can also put a metal shim over the top of it. Right. But if I want to use a big die, or I want to use, say, well, I'll tell you what, the one I haven't cut is the Sizzlet. Okay, so how would you cut this? You would probably know the original sandwich for this.
Yes, I do. Well, it's like an embossing folder, I think. So it would be, the original in a Sizzix would be the A and the 2 clear plates. Yeah,
so I've got this
one. The 2 3 millimeters plates,
So you can see it fits down. I'm going to pop my card on top. So what I need to do now is, that's a lot thicker. So if I use my C and my B, that's going to be too thick. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll show you, the machine will reject it. Okay. Watch it not do and make me look silly. Just won't even take it. Yeah. It won't take it. Look. Yeah. All 3 lights flash.
It tries, but it's too much.
Rejects it, but it reverses it. Yeah. How many times have you trapped your plates in the middle of a machine when it's got too far and it chunks and stops? This rejects it. It's never happened to me. So I now know that that's wrong. So I can simply go, right, well, let's try it with just the C plate. Oh, look. It slides straight through, no tension.
Yeah, there's no tension.
But you've got then, so let's try it with the B plate. Yeah. Let's turn it on first, shall we? So with the B plate, it runs through because you've got different widths.
Absolutely.
If you've got different widths embossing folders or different widths dies, it will take all of those.
If we needed a little bit more pressure like this, could we put the metal shim underneath it?
Well, we're going to, because it's not. If you look there, it's gone through, but it's not really cut it.
No.
Not at all. So we increase the pressure by adding the metal shim.
Which comes in with the machine.
Which comes included with it.
That's brilliant.
So we just put that one in, and we go there. And what you've got is, you've got all this option and all this ability to just play and know that if you get it wrong, if you get it wrong, it won't take it. It just seriously, full stop, will not take it.
It's funny because I want to let a little bit know, when I was doing one of the shows, I was presenting, so the machine suddenly stopped, and I thought, oh, right, what's happened to the machine? It wasn't the machine, it was literally the power had gone on that power socket. Sometimes you're thinking, this is a machine that I have been seeing used by so many demonstrators, and nobody has had any issues whatsoever. When I was cutting at home certain materials and I was struggling to die cut those materials, then I came here and I was like, well, I'm going to give it a try, see if it that would die cut it. Now you know it, and you know that it has got John Seals approval, there are many of them, but I need to tell you that we are extremely busy. So much so that we are limited stock. That means that 90% of the monthly stock has now gone. What that means is that it's not going to be here for long. It's not like we have got extra stock. There is no more. This is the thing. If you want to grab an exquisite machine, it looks good. It does look incredibly good. And I remember, because a lot of, you mentioned Anna Griffin, and it's just like, that's the sort of look that this machine has. It comes in with 2 embossing folders and dies that you can use as well. 30 dies. And like John says, it's dies that you want to use. Dies like the numbers, tags in there as well, the bicycle, which I adore. But it comes as well, which is with all the plates you need for every single die that is out to A4 in size, which, let's face it, is 99.999% or even more of the die sizes. I love the way that with this machine, you don't have to use power, and you don't have to use, the hand cranking mechanism. I mean, you might be like my mom. My mom, bless her, she's a now massive paper crafter and die cutter. And one of the things she loves die cutting. However, she has got issues with aesthetics. So this is why she was asking me, emailing me about, do I need to go for the Go Power and Emboss? I said, yes, you do need to. You know what? And also, if you're based in Europe or in the USA, you still can get it. Obviously, we still sell to those places. So and don't forget to become a Freedom member either for that reason. But what I love about this machine is easy, it's convenient, it's powerful. And for me, ultimately, it comes to, I trust John. I trust John so much that this is with him I kind of go for to have my collection because I trust his opinion. And when he told me about the Couture Creations Go Power Emboss, I was like, okay, so you have tried and tested so many different die cutting machines, and this is the one that you are happy to come in to our screens and say, this is the one you use. He's bought 5 of them for his workshops. You want some machine that is reliable, that is going to stand the test of different people using it. That's what you want from a die cutting machine. Now, there is also a thing. If you wanted to email us in with any questions, studio@thecraftstore.com, that will be the address to do it. Personally, I think with a die cutting machine, what I want is ease of use. Take the box. I want power, the powerful kind of Go Power, take the box and then some. And then I want also a machine that's going to last the test of time. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I have had it for a long time, because I haven't. John has had it for 3 years. And I will tell you, John isn't gentle. Well, I mean,
no,
he might be gentle in some things, but, not gentle when it comes to tools and to put them through the machine and kind of...
I am not gentle at all. I make no apologies. What I'm going to do is, while you're talking, I'm going to pull out my one. I'm going to show you how I store it, and I'm going to pull out the one that I would normally use. Now,
I thought that
when these were last available, no, I treat myself, which is a word.
Yeah.
I treated myself to a new one.
Yes,
and said,
absolutely.
really, mine is getting really. It's not that it's not doing it; it's getting manky looking.
Well, it's
so
a
I've treated myself to a new one, but I am going to pull out my one that's 3 years old. I've used on every show and show you that one.
Well, John does like. Can I talk about numbers, because this is a monthly mega deal. You can say limited stock, incredibly busy. Treat yourself, like John has said. Maybe it's a birthday coming up. Maybe you are. I mean, one of my friends, Chris, in Manchester, he was like, he had always the A4, A6 die cutting machines, and when I came out with Miss P loves, he was like, oh, I love them, but I don't have an A4 die cutting machine. So he still hasn't invested. This is the machine that I would recommend you to go at the minute, because it's such a powerful machine. Now, I will tell you another thing that I love about this one is the fact that even though it's really nice and smooth, it has got a flat surface there. So I like to leave my plates in there. Yeah, on top of that. So therefore, you are not taking away the real estate.
No.
The real estate that it kind of, right. I'm going to do some numbers. First of all, a limited stock. Second, 3 payments of £46 and 33 pence if you want to, or 66 pence if you want to flexi buy it. That means that you open a flexi buy, put other stuff in there, or one-off payment of £139 and 99 pence. If you're a Freedom member, you do not pay £4 and 95 pence for delivery. So even more reasons to check out your basket right now, but very, very quick, because we're extremely limited to stock. 880-282 is your item number. Now, John, show us your one.
This is literally, this is like sort of, this is how I store mine. Yeah. Literally, can you see? That is how it travels with me.
That means a machine, a die cutting machine, because it's an engineering feat, there really is. Having a store upside down or vertically, it's a testament again about the quality of the inside.
This has been in this box like this. And this moves everywhere around the country. Anyone who's ever seen me at a retail show, at Stamperama or anything, will recognise my case. But literally, that's how I store it. This is my machine. You can see now why I said.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking it might be nice to get a new one. And I hastened to it, and as I've said before, I bought it. For anyone starts thinking, oh, yeah, but it's all right for you to say that, you get given these things. I don't, trust me. I mean, if there is a way that you tap into that, I've never managed it in the 7 years I've been in the industry. But, so this is mine, straight from the box. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this is how I store it.
But it's not that, can I say something? It's like, it's actually not that bad. Because it's not shiny and new, that's fair enough, but it's not battered.
No, it doesn't.
It's a little bit scratched,
I mean, look at my plate.
Not battered.
Look at my A plate. This is how I, this is what happens.
Yeah.
This is actually cleaner than the one I've got at home. The one I've got at home, if you watch any of the videos, that's terrible. Yeah, but I don't clean things and stuff. But A plate, C plate, my machine, is, as I said earlier, my machine's 3 years old. Yeah. So I tend to use my metal shim in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that helps extend it. Let's use exactly the same die. I can use exactly the same card. I'm putting it on the side. Yeah. Yeah. Let's find the right plate. B plate, honestly. Oh. Shall we use mine?
Shall you use, yeah.
Well, they're all mine, but this is my older one.
Wow.
I thought I'd be really nice for everyone and use a fresh one on telly.
You were very considerate, but also I love that you're showing the real, plates after 3 years of use, how good to stay they are.
3 years of use. Now, I tend to do a show a week. Yeah. Which means that I've done 5 hours a week. I've done probably, let's say, 15 hours a month for the last 3 years with this machine live on TV. On TV alone.
So that means that all the prep,
and you know how much prep goes into it. So there we go. Yeah. So this, there we go, is exactly the same.
Perfect.
And I can still take, this came out the same way, and I can still, pop these pieces out. You see how, this is a great thing. Yeah. See how these have hung in there a little bit more? Yeah. Yeah? Because I've had so much use of this.
I see, yeah.
So what would I do? Well, I would put it down.
I see,
I would put on the plate. I would take the A5 metal shim. Yeah. pop my B plate on. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Because as I was saying to Tony, you know, our security manager who came in, I said, as I'm getting older, I'm finding things like getting up in the middle of the night and things that never existed. As things get older, they get a little bit more tired.
They do, they do. Don't tell me about it.
No,
I just find
but what I mean is
very...
that happens. So,
yeah.
but this is a machine that will last you because the way it's designed means it's not going to just snap or break or anything. So it took that extra pressure, and there we go. That literally now just drops out.
Perfect. Thank you, John.
Even on that age, it does it. I love it.
You love it. You are loving it at home. But I need to tell you something at home. All our stock is allocated in people's baskets, which means that if you are one of the lucky ones, you have it in your baskets. Please do check out if you want the machine. If you don't want the machine, by all means, let somebody else have it, because that's what you know. If you don't think that it's for you, then that's fine. There's people out there who want it. So I would recommend you to do check out right now, because it's technically gone. That's the monthly mega deal gone. Remember, the magnetic plate did sell out. They didn't come back. This is, you know, we were supposed to have another show at 1 o'clock. There's not going to be a 1 o'clock, at least not with the Go Power and Emboss.
Do I get an early bath?
Well, I mean, if you... No, because you are here at 6 o'clock.
I'll be here at 6 o'clock, aren't I?
I mean, if you want to have an early bath and then come back, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. We don't mind that. But as long as you make sure that you check out your baskets, because that's your only gate to put your order through, whether you are doing shopping online on thecraftstore.com or whether you could give us a call here at the call center, which is upstairs. 880-282 is your item number. If you have it in your basket, check out, you will get it. Now, we have got the Collider, bundle here. Now, this is a phenomenal bundle that even if you are going for the Go Power Emboss and you're not going for the Collider, I would strongly recommend to go for this bundle. And the reason is because you are getting a 3mm pair of plates. You are getting also the 5mm and the magnetic base. We are over 80% of the stock. And John, this is one of those things that I love the way that it works on the Collider, but also perfectly with the Go Power.
It works perfectly with the Go Power. So you've got, this is, again, I'll do exactly the same again. Yeah. So exactly the same, and this is one of the benefits. I remember years ago, and again, I think it's out of production now, but everyone was crazy. I bought myself a Grand Caliber. I broke 6 of them.
Yes, you did.
Over 2 years.
Yeah.
Poor Colin at Creative Expressions, mending mine virtually weekly. But then they came out with the junior plates. And everyone was like, wow, what a boon. The Kaleido plates, we made sure when we designed these and put these together, we made sure that they would work with the Go Power and Emboss. So we kept to a standard piece. So this is a detailed die. So I'm going to add in my metal shim, which is an extra, although I'll leave that out to start with. The die goes in, normal again, base plate, 5mm, card and die 3mm.
Perfect.
But you know, when you're using a machine like this, if you want to go through with smaller plates, you have to go that way to hit the sensors, don't you? Not on the Go Power, you can go anywhere.
I see.
And just click run. And they will work cut in this exactly the same. So if you want to do it quicker, you're doing a smaller die. Still works on the reverse, even though it's only grabbing a small plate. It works perfectly. But the other one I want to show you on this. So there we go. There you go. I reversed it too early, but let's see.
You can see it.
I reversed it before it fully went through.
That's the thing. I mean, I have done that sometimes, but then you can just run it again once more time, so it's not wasted. But
if you want to use your big dies with the Go Power, you need 2 C plates. Now, because I looked on social media earlier, and a lady had said she was struggling to get a new C plate. There aren't any available at the moment because if you use it in the right order, you won't need to replace it. So they never ordered thousands of them thinking we're going to sell lots. So you need 2 C plates. Well, you don't. You need 2 3mm plates.
And this is what we are getting in this bundle.
And that's what you get in the Kaleido bundle. So I'm going to use a piece of card that's bigger than I need. But
it doesn't matter if it's bigger, does it?
So this is dolly board.
Perfect.
So I'm going to need to chop it. Oh, no, I don't. I can do it that way. Okay. Yeah. What you do is to do a big sty is between two of the small Kaleido plates. Take it in any old way, plus run, and that will cut your big sties.
I see.
So unless you've got the large ones, but if you have, and I want to be perfectly honest here, if you cannot get a C plate and you've got the big sties and you want to cut them, you simply need a 3mm plate. And you get those with the platinum.
With the big shot.
You get those with the big shot.
You're getting with the platinum, Jane Davenport. You will get them as well. Yeah, so
you get them and you can find them.
Your
Cuttlebug plates work through this as well. We've tested that, and their magnetic base.
Absolutely.
But you see here, this is dolly board, mount board. I think it's like 2000 GSM. This was one of my favourite Tim Holtz styles. I know you will have got this one.
I bought a bunch of that because there is so much you can do with that stuff.
But you can see there, that's cut through and cut through really, really easily and really simply just by using the 2 3mm plates. So it works. It's basically everything you need if you can't get hold of those. The other question I've had, and you'll use these for, is the Couture creations, Heartfelt creations, flower moulds. They are exactly the same design and depth as the big sties, so they will fit through this machine, but you will also use your 2 3mm plates from your Kaleido will work with your flower mould from Couture Creations. Unfortunately, I don't have one, and we don't have one here for me to try, but they will go through exactly the same way. So you've got the moulds. It will also take, and again, you can use a smaller 3mm plate if you need to, the Spellbinder's Glimmer. And the Couture Creations Go Foil.
Is the foiling system that will go, because that requires a bigger mouth or a deeper mouth.
It does, yeah. So it will work. So the Kaleido plate's absolutely perfect for that. And the other thing I love about these is they're magnetic.
Yeah.
As standard.
Right.
Normally you pay a lot more for a magnetic plate. So it's certainly, when you're using smaller dies, it can be, and you can literally, I could cut these like this.
Okay,
So I can cut using the magnetic base plate.
Right.
I don't, but you can, because all you do is put 5mm on top, 3mm on top.
Okay.
As long as your sandwich is right.
5 and 3.
5 and 3. As long as you get the sandwich to base 5 and 3, to that same depth, it will work no matter what you're using.
Perfect.
So anything you're using.
And you're getting both the 3mm pair and the 5mm in this bundle.
So that's done that. It's not been enough pressure, perhaps, to cut the middle, but I've got that beautiful centre. So it just works really, really well. So you can use it that way. So that's why I love the Kaleido plates, and that's why they're one of my absolute favourites. So I'll pass that back to you, because I think I'm running out of ideas there quickly.
Definitely, there it is. So if you want the Kaleido plate bundle, you have got 3mm the pair, the 5mm, and you're getting the magnetic base. £36.47 is your price. You're saving £4 there. Right, if you want yours, you know what to do. You can, of course, we are approaching limited stock. I couldn't hear my producer, and she's like, So there it is. If you want yours, do check out your baskets. I mean, we have had already the sellout of the machine. If you want this bundle, you need to check out your basket. Right, moving down to the next bundle. Another reason to get the Kaleido palettes in here, it's because you are getting the metal shim. Maybe it's for your Kaleido, maybe it's for your Go Power, and then you're getting the rubber mat. Now, am I right thinking that this rubber mat, we don't need to trim it if it's for the Go Power?
If it's for the Go Power, you leave it in the exact size it is, because it comes this size.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically, I mean, I will honestly tell you the story. Yeah. This we've had for a long time, and this was designed to be a heat mat, which is why it says it on the packaging. Yeah. Pop your glue gun on and be able to pull your glue off. But it's silicone. When we were developing the Kaleido, we asked for a quote for a silicone or rubber mat to be an embossing mat for it.
Okay.
And the quote came in to manufacture more than this retails for. And so Peter, myself and Jane sat there and went, no way. No way. I said, well, I use this.
Yes.
So we said, well, we'll just keep on using this and show people, rather than make something that's going to be really expensive.
Absolutely.
So if you're using it in the Go Power, and to be honest, if you want to emboss a die in your Go Power, this is the mat they supply you with.
Right, yeah.
It's too thick.
Right.
This I use, as I did on one of the shows last night, for embossing a stencil.
Yeah.
So I could take one of the beautiful Clarity stencils, I could put that on a piece of gold card, run that through the machine and emboss it. Yeah. So with that, but if I want to emboss a die, I find that too thick. So I use the silicone heat mat. And to make it fit my Kaleido, all I did, you can actually see the wonky line. I used a pair of scissors and cut it off. And it's just the perfect tool for using with your Go Power or with your Kaleido or with any of your die cutting machines, because to be honest, spares and extras of these mats are they're a right price, aren't they?
Absolutely. £12.98 is your price. 234373 is your item number for the Couture A5 metal shim and non-stick craft mat. We have got the Go Power and Emboss machine. Now, a couple of you, being very generous, you have decided maybe it's for somebody else. Well, somebody else is going to take them. We know that we have got like a little bit of a waiting list, basically. So if you don't want it, that's fine. 10 minutes, you have got to check out your baskets. 2 people literally have not checked out their baskets. If you are that person and you wanted it, make sure that you add it. Or if you were waiting either as well. So make sure now is your time to get it. Now is your time to not miss out. Now is your time, if you have been thinking about the Go Power, if you have got that kind of, oh, it's my dream machine, shall I not? Now is your time to make that decision, because there are 2 basically have jumped out of people's baskets, and therefore you have got the ability to do. Now, we have plates available individually, which is the B plate, the metal shim, and the rubber mat. So shall we break it down? Because the B plate is actually limited stock, £12.99 for that one. So the B plate, why we would want to have an extra one?
To be honest, I would have a B plate if I'd damaged that or I'd broken it. I mean, I am one of those people who says do what I say and not what I do, because I do tend to like to have spares of everything. However, I would never encourage anyone to, unless you've broken it or you've got it really, really heavily marked, because this is the plate that we cut into the most. And if you can be really, you know, this is the plate that goes on top, this is the plate that will hit the rollers, this is the one that can get really mucky. And I know some people prefer to have 1 plate for white card and 1 plate for all the different colours. If you're one of those, you might want to get a B plate. But to me, unless you need to replace it, it's not something you need to put in your basket, and I'm not going to pretend.
Well, I love that honesty from you, and this is why we love it. Personally, being more of a, like you, a fear of missing out? Some fear of running out.
Fear of running out, I am a foro. I coined that a few months ago. I am a foro. I have a fear of running out. I've currently at the moment only got 2 craft artist glues and spare. And it's on a boat at the moment, and I am desperate because normally I have 6.
Personally, I would go for them, but actually, technically sold out. It means that everybody has got it in baskets. Remember, like what happened to those 2 machines that people didn't check out? They are actually back in baskets. So if you want it, make sure that you put it in, you check out, otherwise you will not get it. 5282905 is your item number. Wow, what a busy show it is. Well, busy life, in fact. The metal shim here. I cannot recommend enough to have a metal shim. Also, can I say something? I'm passing my fingers here.
Yes. Well,
you know why?
The metal shim, and I know why you're doing it. I do buy and did buy a spare of the metal shim. And I'm going to show you why. Is because one of the techniques you need to do, if you're using your machine for fabric, or you're using machine, if you've got a double-sided card, remember Craft Artists, we did the double-sided glitter card, you need to cut into a metal shim to finish it. So I cut in this last night with Handmade by Hayley's dies for fabric. Cut absolutely beautifully 4 layers, but look what it did to my metal shim. And this was a brand new one I got just for fabric. So I have 1 for paper and card. You can see I've used it. you can see I've got little marks on it where I've cut paper and card into it, but that is my shim. I wouldn't use that as a shim to give me a right cut. So I have one for fabric and one for paper and card. So
like
this
scissors.
is a place where I would say, like scissors.
Yeah,
I hide my mill shop on, you know, Joe's scissors.
Oh, I hide them. I hid them so well that I could never find them.
Oh no, I know exactly where they are. They're there, but Sam doesn't know where they are.
Oh, I see.
Because I do not, you know, you never want to use your fabric scissors. It's the same. So on your metal shims, yes, have one for paper, one for fabric.
Fabulous. So if you want an extra one, it's just $9.99, especially if you are one of those two people that didn't check out their baskets and you have got the Go Power and Emboss, you will be able to spread the cost in interest-free payments as well. $9.99 is your price. Yours will come without the finger marks, but it just wanted to show that actually, I mean, I would not recommend it to touch the edges, but it's actually perfectly safe. 241587 is your item number. And then the embossing mat. And you're right, John, because it's one of the thickest embossing mats I have ever seen. So perfect for the stencils. It's
perfect for stencils. I was going to, I've been trying to catch Barbara's eye to see if I could borrow one of her stencils, but I've managed to find one of mine, but I might see if I can borrow one in a little bit to show you one of her beauty. We were having a conversation earlier, Barbara and I, about how beautiful her stencils are.
Yeah, well, so they are some of the most beautiful.
I am envious of those.
Absolutely.
I genuinely am. I do have, I have craft envy on that one. Yeah. But this is great for this, and I know a lot of the thinner mats don't actually do it as well. Now, I did this last night. Every time I do this, I get it wrong. But the machine will tell me. So this time I've gone the thick rubber mat, the base plate. This is groovy parchment. Yeah, and this is one of my stencils. Yeah. Perfect. And I'm going to try the 3mm on top first, because I don't know where I've put my 5mm. I'm sure, in fact, I know that's wrong. Where have I? Oh, it's in front of me. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Well, that's it's clear, so we'll let you that one. So we run that through. If it's not right, if it's too thick, the machine will tell me and it will reject it. But this is why. But look at the mat. It's like chewing gum. It starts to stretch itself out, won't it? Because it's that thick. And it means that you get a beautiful embossed impression on your... Can you see that? Oh, wow, Okay, it's going to be so difficult to show. It really is. If we can can you see there? I'm getting... There we go. There, we can see it. I think in real life it's a lot more It's a lot more deeper, but this is a great thing. I'm put that back down. I mean, this isn't a stencil, you know, that will work as well on that, but... So I think, well, I want that a bit deeper, don't I? Yeah. So I just increase the pressure in the machine. With the metal. You see now why I say about 2 metal shims? Yes, absolutely. It wouldn't look very good if I used that bent and warped thingy one. So will it work in other die-cutting machines such as... It will. Yeah, so this will work, because it's a 3mm. Yeah. So this will work in your platinum. Now, this will work in your Big Shot Plus, is it? Yeah, Big Shot Plus, This will work in your bigger machine. Any A4 machine that uses a 3mm 5-plate combination, it will work in. It will work in, yeah. You see now, I've got a double, but I've got a lot crisper impression. Oh, yeah, you can see it there. I mean, you're not seeing double, there is actually double. As our shade's doing a brilliant... Yeah, it looks gorgeous. You're actually seeing double. And again, this doesn't have as much open space, so it's not quite as clear. Yeah. But that's the main thing I use that for. And you get some amazing effects. If you've got Mica Magic, you can go over the top of the parchment. That's amazing. With your Mica Magic. I love that. Or vellum. So, I never know what to call it. I really do need a lesson in the difference between vellum and parchment. And well, it's one of those ones, because I kind of did some research, and vellum comes from veal. So so it's kind of. Oh, I know originally it's lamb skin and things, you know, you have got like you know, Parchers will say that parchment is the higher quality and vellum is like a little bit thin, but then you have got people. So it's a bit of one of those. Well, I'm using parchment then, because I know this. I bought this from Groovy, so I know that this is. Parchment. I know this is high quality, so I know this is parchment. That's parchment. 273159 is your item number. 12.99 is your price for the embossing mat, and I would get it as well, because I think for embossing details and adding those white work, that would be fabulous. But very, very busy for the Kaleido bundle. It is limited stock now. Wow. Sam checked yesterday and asked Peter if there were any more, and it just came back, no, sorry.
Well, there it is.
So I will give you the exact quote. When we asked for more, it was no, sorry.
No. Well, there it is. John has said, so £36.47. It gives you the magnetic base.
The magnetic base, the 5mm plate, and a pair of 3mm plates.
So basically, if we have gone for the Go Power and Emboss, add this to your basket, and then we can use every single one of these plates in that machine.
We can, every single one in there. I mean, as I say, people at home know, if you join me for Craft Cave Live, which I do, I'll get a plug in here.
Yeah,
if you join me for Craft Cave Live,
ahead.
which is 7 o'clock live from my Craft Cave at home, on Facebook, on Crafting with John Next Door and Crafts 2, you will see my Go Power machine is there. My Kaleido is there.
Yeah.
You know, you can see around. I don't have anything else. That's what I use. So the combination of being able to mix and match the plates between my favourite manual die cutting machine, the Kaleido, and my favourite electronic machine is just amazing.
Absolutely.
So it's so worth having.
Indeed it is. 719277 is your item number with a saving of £4 there for that. I'd recommend it, because it's great to have all the plates and it saves you time as well. Then we have the other bundle, which is the metal shim and the non-stick craft mat for just £12.98. Another great add-on, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is, to me, you need this. I could not cope, and again, if you've watched me ever on a show or you're watching me tonight at 6 o'clock, I will be using that constantly. So I will be using the metal shim constantly. I use that to emboss in my Kaleido, but you can use that to emboss in any of your A5 die cutting machines and in your A4 if you've got the Go Power, because it doesn't matter, it's smaller. And ultimately, it even makes, and I still use mine, when I'm doing hot glue work, which I'm going to be doing tonight, if I hopefully remember to bring my hot glue gun.
If not, I can lend you mine.
If not, I may be popping round. I use that for that as well and just peel it off, so it's a multi-use to me. But we have made sure that these on their own are on an end of call as well if people just want the mat.
Oh, absolutely.
Or they just want the metal plate. So they're both available as end of calls.
Triple embossing powder, things like that also work well.
Anything. Literally, it's silicone. You can pour your resin onto here. You could pour your spare resin onto here and push something into it. It's silicone.
Cool.
It won't damage. I mean, it's ridiculous. I sound crazy, but I did say this to Peter when I discovered this one. So that's a ridiculously cheap price for effectively what is almost an A4 sheet of silicone. So you can use it for any of those techniques, triple embossing.
Wow, I mean, there's so many possibilities. It's just £12.98. I'm very busy for this bundle as well. 234373 is your item number. Now, dies. I mean, we usually show the dies, very quickly on, but it has been such a busy show. These are some of your John Next Door, though. I love that one so much. I think this is probably my favourite of the mandalas I've done because it looks to me like a sunflower. I absolutely love that, and it's so many different pieces and panels. And what I wanted to do when they said, would you add some dies on to the show, I wanted to add dies on that I knew were detailed and intricate. And that also all of these samples have been made in the Go Power as well. But I love that. I mean, to say you've got that one and then you've got one with purple on, I think. Let me show you.
With like a double layer.
Yeah.
That's actually made with the but that actually turns. But it's made with the same die set, and that's what I love. You can get so many different looks, all from the same die set, and that's just doing it in soft in pinks using pink colours. But then I think there's another one to your right in the beige with flowers across it.
I love this one.
That's the same die set, but it's just multi-layered. Now that to me looks like an autumn sunflower.
It does.
It's so detailed because we've not used the circle.
Absolutely, and this one as well. I mean, it's just, and I love that kind of depth going inwards.
That one, the one you just showed, is the waste from cutting that one.
Ah, I see. So a twofer.
A twofer. Both of those cards were made with the same sheets of square card.
Are gorgeous. Not only you are getting that, you are also getting the corners dies. So 12 dies in total, £21.98 from John Next Door. 009345 is your item number. And then we have got the perfect matching flowers with that, the lattice flowers. And those lattice flowers, they are one of those ones they accentuate, they kind of add those details. John, I adore that fact that you have given us lots of different sizes as well.
Well, you've got in there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 6 different sizes in the set, and you also get the solid and the lattice pattern for each of them. So there's 12 dies in there, and so one of the things that's always annoyed me as a crafter is you buy set A, which is the lattice, and set B, which is the solid. No, I've included them all together.
Perfect.
So in that small packet, you're actually getting 12 dies, which will make you 6 layered flowers.
Indeed, and it's just, and that's the beauty of it. Then you kind of use them for accentuate whatever you know, kind of card you are creating. 127 174 is your item number. £3 saving, £12.99. Right, we have also the tools. Now these tools that we have got on the show, I had to play yesterday, and I was well impressed with the triple action die brush because that's one that has got not only the die brush but also has got the pocket tool and the spatula, and then the glue eraser, which has so many possibilities. $9.99 is the price, 527 273 is your item number. But we also have a Couture Creations bundle, which we are going to have a look in a second. So this is you are getting the tape cutter, you are getting the lift off. Oh, I like a lift off. And then you have got in there the sanding block and also the die release paper, all for £12.99. This bundle, the item number is 660786 is your item number. Right, now you have got the die brush and the glue eraser, right?
The die brush and the glue set, because when you said it earlier, it's something I was going to actually, something I just came straight into my mind. When we finished the show yesterday, Paola, as usual, would say, you know, hello, chatting, talk to the producer, and then Paola had to rush off to start her show. And Paola said, I keep forgetting to order one of those die brushes, I must order one. And that, to me, made me smile, because when you've got a professional like you, who's been in the industry so long, who's not just saying, oh, that's a good idea, or thanks a lot, and off they go, they actually talking to themselves and saying, oh, I need to order one of those, and I need to get one. And, you know, I
tell you why, because I think the 3-in-1 is just so convenient.
It really, really is, and it's so ergonomic.
It feels so nice in your hands.
I know it sounds weird, but, you know, when we first did these, I'm going to be honest, I was reluctant. This is what I used to use. I bought this off Julia Watts about 5 years ago. It's like a poking tool. Okay, great. On this die here. And then Jane actually said to me, she said, try it. And I went like that. And went, because no matter how much you bash a die, you do not get every bit out. And the thing was, I bought one years ago on the long stick. You know, the little brush like that, on a long stick, because we've not even reinvented the wheel. You know, loads of people have this sort of idea. But that just fits in my hand because I've got my sausage hands, and it really works. And if I've got any bits missing...
No, not sausage hands.
Oh, I've got little tiny sausage hands and fingers, I know.
We like your hands.
No, you know, I know what I'm like.
You can do a lot of things with your hands.
Yeah. Well, I try to. That's what I love doing. You know, that's why I love crafting. But, you know, I would say if I can do it, my little sausage fingers, anyone can. But any bits left in there, I can just put my finger in. I can just put the little pokey tool in, but I'm not having to poke each one. And I always said, well, what's that for?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is for when you've got something like this, or a die like this, which is really tight. And when I cut that, there really aren't, if you look at that die, there aren't any release holes.
Oh, I see,
Okay, it wasn't possible to put any release holes into here. Not to get that piece out in the middle. Okay, and the reason was, sometimes when we put a release hole in, it will actually emboss. And you don't want that little dot. So this is basically to go underneath and dig out your die cut. So you're not, the other way to do it is put your poke tool in,
but that
pull
can
it out,
damage the
makes
die.
a hole. So that's what that's for, because I was like, what is that? And I went, oh. And and there are times when I design dies like this, and there's the Belgravia border. Has no release die because it's not right.
By the way, thank you so much, John, for that. But I need to tell you that a couple of people they haven't checked out their baskets in time. So if you are one of those people and you want it to the machine, I know how it is. It is a considered purchase because it's above £100, and you are thinking, do I, do I not? Do you really want it? Do you need an A4 die cutting machine that is powerful? Now, you can pay in 3 interest-free payments of £46 and 66 pence, and you have got that saving of £10. But let me stop talking and ask John, because if somebody is hesitant, if somebody is saying, should I not, and they're not checking their baskets, why would you say to them?
I would say to them, if you are looking for an A4 machine, the very first thing, I got a big shot at first. I think we all started that way. Within 3 months, I went to an A4 machine. If you've just got on your die cutting journey, you're going to want an A4 machine relatively quickly. That's fair. So if you're going to do that, you might as well go for electric.
Absolutely.
It's so much easier. If you're struggling turning your handle, go for an electric.
And it's hefty, it's stable.
Weight and the stability. Go for an electric, and if you're going to go for an electric, it's only in my opinion. But this is not only the one I recommend. I've no connection with them. I bought it. I paid my own money out. Julia Watts bought 2.
Exactly. I mean, that's
with her own money. She bought 2 of them.
She did ask me. I remember. It says like, "Oh, do you know when they are back in stock?" And then it was like, "No." And I asked her.
I had to text her. I messaged her and said they're back in stock, and she ordered 2. I think one for her, one for Phil. I'm not sure, so don't quote me. But when you see people whose job and livelihood depends on their ability to do things right, put their own money out for it, I wouldn't question it, to be honest. It's the same as the press to impress. If you see someone using a press-to-impress stamping platform, they've bought it. And I always say that's the biggest recommendation, is look what the professionals are using.
Absolutely. And I can vouch for that as well. Now, remember, extremely limited stock, because what happens is everybody put it in their baskets. The baskets auto-refresh every 10 minutes. If you're one of those person, the people that you want a machine, you are thinking about it, now is the time to check out your baskets. We want to let you know, too, if that happens again. Therefore, now is the time to put your order through. Make sure that whether you give us a call, by the way, we have got queues on the phones. So the best way would be to go to the website, thecraftstore.com. That will be the easiest way to check out your baskets, to make sure that you have got an incredible die cutting machine. Now it's all in baskets. Please, please, if you want them, check out your baskets now. Thank you, John. I'll see you at 6 p.m.
See you at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And of course, I'll see you in an hour's time with the one-day special. Stay tuned for more.